I'm Mortgage Mark. Let's talk about what you or your realtor, if you're working with a listing agent, what you need to ask the potential lender for the people that want to buy your home. So guys, I've been in the business since 2003. Figure out however long that is when you're watching this, 20 years, whatever, doesn't matter. Long time. And in that time, we do hundreds of loans a year, literally. And in the 20 years and the hundreds of loans, so that's thousands of loans over a career, do you know how many times listing agents have actually reached out to me to ask questions about the potential buyers? I'm willing to bet less than 20 times my entire career, which is freaking shocking. So here's the thing, guys. Insist, whether you do it or whether your realtor does it, insist on learning more about your buyer's lender, because you can, everything's great. They've given you this full price offer and you're amazing. They're asking over this. They're giving you everything they want as a seller. But when they don't close on time or close at all, holy smokes, you're like, I wish I'd have just taken that extra 10 minutes to talk to somebody. So what would I ask? So when I sold my house, I did this very thing because I was like, there's no way in heck, because I see it happen way too often where people get far along in this process and something happens. Most of the time, it could have been known up front. There are good lenders and there are great lenders. There's also not so good lenders. A great lender is going to do all the work up front. They're going to have everything. They're going to know. So here's what I don't know. And again, if you're watching this, I don't know what state you're in, different states. Where does the line get drawn? I don't know, but here's what I can tell you. If you or your agent ask, and you're asking information that the lender cannot or should not be sharing, all they can say, the worst case scenario, is no. But what they tell you and how they say it is going to tell me everything. So in other words, if somebody were to call me and they ask for, hey, tell me all this personal stuff about the buyer, listen, man, I can't. What I can tell you is I've been doing this since 2003. We do hundreds of loans. Everything we do is in-house. Like, I want to hear their response. Does it build confidence? Does it speak to me? Does it say that, hey, we're going to close on time and smooth, and this professional has done their homework? So what would I specifically ask? First and foremost, hey, bub, have you pulled the guy's credit? I assume you have. But by the way, here's the sneaky thing. When did they pull it? Yeah, I pulled their credit. I can answer honestly. Yeah, I pulled it. Might have been 6 months ago. Cool. Follow-up question. When was the last time you pulled their credit? Last week or last year? Because somebody could have been pre-qualified last year and they're just now getting ready to buy the house. And if the lender doesn't recheck, who knows what can be on there? Chances are it's fine, but I don't want to chance it. Tell me. So, hey, when was the last time you pulled a credit? Is there anything that needs to be addressed, or can you use the credit as is for the full approval that you've issued? Because a lot of times we can issue approvals and we do this and we're really freaking good at it. And I'll tell you, if you were the seller calling me, I'd tell you what we're doing. The reality is, hey man, I pulled it. There's a few things we got to work on. We are doing this. We are confident it's going to get done. They have the money. They're going to pay some stuff off. We're doing it to get them a better interest rate, not for qualifying, but for a better rate. You'd probably buy that as a seller because it's true. It happens often. But hey, I actually need to pay this off in order to qualify. And okay, cool. Do they have that money? No, we're not yet. Well, there you go. There's your answer. So number one, talk to me about credit. Number two, income. What do they do for a living? Are they self-employed, commission-based? And they may not be able to answer that because, hey, this is personal information. Same with the credit. All they can say is, look, I pulled it. I've looked at it. It's good. Right? They're allowed to say that. But from an income standpoint, hey, man, all I can tell you is that I have seen the documents and they look good. Okay, fine. I'll accept that. But if you can just say, hey, are they self-employed? If a lender's dumb enough to answer it, say, yeah, they are self-employed. Okay, cool. Do you have, how many tax returns do you have? Do you have their business tax returns or personal tax returns? Have they already provided all this to you? And when did you get it? When was it last reviewed? Did you review it? Did an underwriter review it? So guys, that is huge because like, oh, they're self-employed. No, but don't worry, they make $1 million a year. Don't worry, we're good. Yeah, until they send in their tax returns and they lose 990,000, and then they only make 10 grand a year for qualifying. That's a problem. So do you have the docs? Then I'd ask other questions like, hey, how much money do they have? They may not be able. Do they have the funds they need in their bank account? Have you seen the bank account? Has the money been in there for longer than 90 days? Because all these things can come back and bite you guys. So again, down below, we put some common questions for what we think we'd be asking our, I don't want to sit here and read to you, so I know you guys can do that. But it is so critical that you guys understand, like, hey, tell me about yourself. How long you've been in the business? What's the team look like? What's the appraisal look like? Do you guys have any concerns about getting this approved on time? All those questions, I would absolutely go through and figure all that out. And then make sure your agent stays on them. Because again, the squeaky wheel does get the grease. The really good agents, the ones in my experience that I've seen, the people that do a lot of volume, the realtors that are really, really, really good, have really, really annoying transaction coordinators. That's a good thing for them because it keeps the lenders like me on like, oh gosh, if I don't do this, I know they're going to call me every 3 days to get an update. So it makes us make sure that we really do our part to focus on taking good care of them so they can stay out of our hair and we can do our normal jobs. But I'm just telling you, the squeaky wheel does get the grease. So be sure to ask your lender the questions about your buyers, because guys, that lender is going to make or break the day. And if they don't communicate in the front end, why would you think they're going to communicate in the 11th hour? So hopefully that helps. Again, check out more information down below. As always, guys, reach out to us if you got questions or if we can help you with your mortgage. We'd certainly love that. We know that this is a stressful time, a lot of moving parts, but just remember, guys, check us out, mortgagemark.com. And when you think mortgage, think Mark.